I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me. But no, I didn't. I didn't know I hit her actually. I was trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit her. So obviously it's never intentional. That's not even like the type of player that I am. So yeah.
Did you and Marina still laugh about it afterwards? It looked like there was later on in the game they caught you guys laughing about it.
No, I just told you I didn't even know I hit her, so I can't laugh about something I didn't know happened.
DiJonai Carrington has made a significant mark on the WNBA, and her insights on the game reveal not only her understanding of basketball, but also her growth as a player and a person. As she reflects on the season, it's clear that Carrington embodies the spirit of discipline and determination that is crucial for any team aspiring to win a championship.
We just have to stay disciplined and, just attention to the details, rebounding, transition defense, and just, continuing to flow in our offense and not getting stagnant. It makes it hard to guard, just like it is when other teams do it to us. It's hard to guard, so we just got to be consistent with that. Yeah, for sure. I mean, every game is obviously a tough game, especially on the road. So yeah, we're definitely looking to rebound off of our last game. It's a different matchup than the last game, so different things, different emphasis, but yeah, for sure we have really good guards. So it's going to be a team effort, loading to the ball, but like I said, just staying disciplined, not taking chances unnecessarily, playing tendencies, and just being uptight. Ball screens, they ghost out of a lot of screens, so communicating those times when they're ghosting and they're not actually setting it, but they're going to score, and we just have to, take it out quick and run it right back down on the other end.
From the outset, she emphasizes that success doesn't come from talent alone. It requires a steadfast commitment to the fundamentals. Winning a championship, in her view, is an intricate tapestry woven from consistent rebounding, solid transition defense, and a flowing offense. Carrington understands that when players get stagnant, it becomes easier for opponents to guard them.
You always come in excited the first game of the season, but I felt like, my teammates and my coaches put a lot of trust in me, and obviously I came off the bench last year, I started this year, so I just felt like, when my teammates trust me and they put that faith in me, it gives me a lot of confidence, and, they've been in my ear all week and all through training camp, and this is what they expect from me every night, whether it's Caitlin or whether it's whoever we're playing, so this is the expectation. This is the standard.
I mean, we all see it. It is what it is. I think that at the end of the day, I know who I am, and I know, what type of person and player I am. And the people who know me know that as well. So you could give the homeless $1 million, or you could steal $1 million from a rich person, and they're going to find a problem with both of them. So, it is what it is. People are going to talk, but like we've been doing all season, we're gonna, keep talking on the court.
What do you think of Caitlin Clark?
I don't know. Next question. I think she's a good player, and yeah.
Instead, she advocates for a style of play that is dynamic and fluid, one that keeps both the players and the defense in constant motion. This philosophy reflects her maturity as a player. Carrington recognizes that basketball is not just a game of skills, but also a mental battle. The ability to maintain focus on the details can be the difference between winning and losing, particularly in high-stakes situations. For her, every practice, every game, and every moment on the court is an opportunity to hone her skills and sharpen her mental acuity.
Yeah, that would be crazy, honestly, but I don't know, it would mean a lot. I never, you have a lot of goals as a basketball player or as any person, and it's never something I had wrote down. Not that I didn't think it was attainable, because I know what I'm capable of, but I didn't think I was going to get the opportunity that I'm getting and be able to take full advantage of it, so it would be really exciting. And, I would credit God first, obviously, because of everything I've been through and getting me back healthy and to the place that I am. But you can't do anything without your teammates, your family, all of those things. So yeah, it changes it completely. The Mercury's a very different team with and without her. They're great regardless, but she's going to be one of the greatest to have ever played in this game. So just the impact that she makes offensively, defensively, she alters shots at the rim. She just makes you think twice when you go in the paint, things like that. And then on the other side of the floor, she's hard to guard, just her ability to keep the ball high and her ability to knock down that 15, 17-foot shot. She screens really well. So just the fact that our posts have to stay really, really attached to her, and it's going to put more pressure on us as guards to guard our man one-on-one. So yeah, she changes it for sure.
As the season unfolds, Carrington acknowledges the challenges her team faces, particularly after a tough stretch of 3 losses in 4 games. She demonstrates a deep understanding of the psychological aspect of sports, recognizing that every game is a test of resilience. Each opponent presents a unique set of challenges, and Carrington emphasizes the importance of adapting their strategy based on the specific dynamics of each matchup.
We talked about it. We have to start better. And, that was kind of a theme last year too. We would dig ourselves a hole and then have to climb out of it. But it's obviously early, but we have an expectation that we hold ourselves and each other to. And so, we just have to be better coming out. But like DB said, every game's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be, 25 assists on 30 made field goals type of night. So today was a day that we had to find a way to win, and the way that we won was getting stops on defense and getting easy layups in transition.
Yeah, every coach I've played for has been completely different from the previous one. So she's very different than any of the other ones that I've played for. I appreciate her free flowing offense, and that she's open to tweaking things based on just matchups and based on just how the flow of the game is going. But I really like the offense that we run as far as just spacing and, 5-out kind of vibe. It's very conducive to my personal game, just being able to get downhill and attack and swing and cut. It's really good for me personally. So yeah, I appreciate that.
This adaptability is key to their success, and she is committed to ensuring that her team remains focused and prepared. In the context of the WNBA, where every game carries weight, Carrington's insights on the significance of teamwork resonate strongly. She underscores that defense is not just the responsibility of one player. It requires a collective effort. Carrington has an innate ability to analyze the opposing team's strengths, particularly focusing on their guards.
I feel like people are surprised. That's my identity. And when I got on this team, I was coming on a team that had went to the finals and the semifinals. The years before I came, I had 5 All-Stars in the starting lineup when I was a rookie. And so I knew that I had to figure out a way to get on the court. And the way that I figured out to get on the court was to be a lockdown defender. I was with Bree January, Jasmine Thomas, Alyssa Thomas, 3 of the all-time best defenders in WNBA history, So to be able to learn behind them, and now, I'm getting my opportunity to show, but, shout out to them. And now it's nice having Bree on the side. I'm always in her ear, just Bree, take me in your mind. What would you do if you were guarding this person type of thing? So it's a lot of collective effort, but if you want to play, you find a way to get on the court, and that's what I did.
Yeah, I mean, I was only there for a year, but the tools that I learned there definitely have helped me in the W, especially defensively. That was always something that Coach Moki emphasized, was playing really, really hard-nosed defense up in the passing lanes. Rebounding was a huge thing also there. But I think she just, at Baylor, it just helped me to become more of a dog type of basketball player. I think at Stanford, I learned a lot of, IQ stuff and philosophies and just terminology and just how to play the game correctly. And then at Baylor, I learned how to be a dog and how to really get out there and battle and fight and claw and just find a way to win.
She identifies the importance of communication and discipline in executing their defensive strategy. This awareness reflects her growth as a leader on the court, demonstrating that she is not just a player, but a pivotal part of her team's defense. Carrington's appreciation for her teammates shines through as she speaks about their collective effort. She acknowledges that basketball is a team sport and success is a shared endeavor.
I think just the biggest thing is, it's really, really special, and I don't think it's going to set in for me for quite some time. I want my legacy to be the impact that I can have on young kids.
Caitlin Clark, the basketball sensation who's been making headlines for her electrifying performances, just found herself at the center of a shocking controversy. The WNBA's decision to suspend Clark has left fans and analysts stunned, sparking outrage across the sports world. Known for her fierce competitive spirit and jaw-dropping skills on the court, no one expected this twist in her rising career. And Clark, she didn't hold back. What followed after the suspension shocked everyone, from her teammates to the league itself. What exactly happened, and why did Caitlin Clark's reaction send shockwaves through the world of basketball? Let's dive in.
I would say the biggest thing is just you can't take a second off. No matter who you're guarding, no matter if you're on offense or defense, like you breathe for 1 second and you're not looking at your man and she's on the other side of the court. So I think that's the biggest thing, is everybody's so skilled. Like, this is the most competitive league in the world because there's not that many spots. So every person that's getting on the floor is really, really talented. So
Caitlin Clark's impact on the basketball world is undeniable, and while she's yet to officially step onto a WNBA court, her influence is already being felt across the league. Experts and analysts alike are speculating that she may be one of the most transformative players to enter the league in recent memory. What makes Clark's story so unique is not just her dominance in college basketball, but how her style, personality, and leadership are reshaping expectations for the future of the WNBA.
offensively, our defense wasn't very good. So I think just improving in that area and just all kind of gathering our emotions a little bit better and finding better shots. I thought we kind of stopped playing in a way that made us successful in the first half. So just a good learning opportunity for us. I feel like we could have played a lot better. But yeah, I think there's a line, and sometimes your passion, your emotion can get to you. But
Caitlin Clark's rise to stardom is nothing short of remarkable. Her ability to score from almost anywhere on the court has made her a must-watch player, with many drawing comparisons to NBA greats known for their long-range shooting prowess.
Caitlin Clark is starting to push A'ja Wilson for MVP of this league, and I am not exaggerating. She is starting to push A'ja as the best player in the league because I don't see anybody control a game the way Caitlin can.
From deep three-pointers that look effortless to pinpoint passes that leave defenders scrambling, Clark's game transcends traditional roles. She isn't just a shooter, she's a playmaker, leader, and relentless competitor. Her impact goes beyond the statistics. College games featuring Clark have brought increased viewership, and her electric performances have reinvigorated interest in women's basketball as a whole. Fans tune in to see her not only because she's a dominant scorer, but because of the excitement she brings to the game. This fan engagement is something experts believe will carry over into the WNBA, helping to boost the league's visibility and grow its fan base. Many WNBA executives and players are already discussing how Clark will influence the league's landscape when she eventually makes the leap. Experts believe her ability to shoot from almost any range, whether it's a three-pointer from just past half-court or a quick release under pressure, could redefine how offenses are run in the league. Clark's game could encourage WNBA teams to place a greater emphasis on the deep ball, potentially creating a shift in how future games are played. In addition, her leadership on the court is undeniable. Clark is known for her tenacity and competitive fire, qualities that often push her teammates to new levels. She doesn't back down from challenges, and that's something experts think will make her a powerful force in the WNBA.
There is a lot of appropriate attention on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and we found out that the Fever Storm game from over the weekend drew 2.2 million viewers, which is massive. The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
More than her physical abilities, it's Clark's mentality that experts and scouts consistently praise.
Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
She has the mental toughness and resilience required to thrive in a professional league, where the competition is more intense and the stakes are higher. Coaches at the WNBA level are also excited about the potential tactical adjustments they can make with a player like Clark on their roster. Her combination of scoring ability and basketball IQ allows for flexibility in offensive schemes.
No one like Caitlin Clark in the history of the WNBA.
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect.
No one cares what skin color you are. You know what America loves? Let me break it down for you. We absolutely love one thing. You know what it is? Underdogs. We don't care about your color. We don't care if you're married, single, divorced. We don't care about anything. We love humble underdogs.
Experts predict that Clark's presence will force defenses to stretch, creating more open lanes and opportunities for her teammates. In a league that's known for its strategic complexity, Clark's arrival could lead to a new wave of offensive creativity. Her influence isn't confined to the court. Clark's popularity and personal brand have positioned her as a potential icon for the WNBA.
The biggest reason that she's popular is it's the Steph Curry syndrome. She looks a lot like the girl who's out shooting hoops next door, and she plays like we are all capable of playing.
Already, she's a social media sensation with a massive following, making her one of the most marketable future stars. Experts believe that her charisma, coupled with her undeniable talent, will make her a key figure in the league's growth. As the WNBA continues to work on expanding its audience, particularly among younger fans, Clark's presence could help the league tap into new markets and demographics.
A lot of people get emotional over race, over how good you are, over if this person's a better basketball player. It is all about business for corporations, and it's all about, can you sell their product?
Another point of interest for experts is Clark's ability to inspire the next generation of players. Her success in college and eventual transition to the WNBA will likely motivate young athletes who see her as a role model. The idea of Caitlin Clark's effect is already being discussed in basketball circles. Her fearless attitude and willingness to embrace pressure could lead to a shift in how young players approach the game.
And I think in overall popularity, does her race play a factor? Nominal. Women's basketball has had a cornucopia of talented white and black women's basketball players. Elena Delle Donne is white, is she not? Sue Bird, white, is she not? Asia Wilson's black. Cynthia Cooper, black. Like, you can go back through, and it's actually a lot more. There's gay and there's straight. There's black and there's white. There's tall and there's short.
Just as previous WNBA greats inspired Clark, experts expect her to influence a new generation of players who will grow up watching her redefine what's possible in the league. The current WNBA stars have taken notice of Clark as well. Players like Breanna Stewart, Aja Wilson, and Diana Taurasi have expressed admiration for her game.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. What Caitlin's been able to do in her short career so far has just been nothing short of remarkable. The one thing that I really love about her, she loves the game. You can tell she's put the work in. And even, throughout, her short WNBA career, it's been a lot of pressure, a lot of things thrown at her. And, she keeps showing up and keeps getting better every single game. So her future is super bright. And, being a veteran and being in this league for a long, long time, it's pretty cool to see that and, going into the future.
Her magnetic personality, coupled with her on-court dominance, positions her to be a player that not only challenges records, but also shapes the narrative of the WNBA for years to come.
So will Caitlin Clark be a good pro? Absolutely. Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately? Absolutely not.
I think just the biggest thing is, it's really, really special, and I don't think it's going to set in for me for quite some time. I want my legacy to be the impact that I can have on young kids.
Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise to basketball stardom has been nothing short of extraordinary. But behind the stunning three-pointers, buzzer beaters, and jaw-dropping stats is a story of relentless dedication, personal sacrifice, and overcoming hardships that the public often overlooks. For every moment she's spent basking in the limelight, there have been equal, if not more, moments of struggle, bullying, and personal doubt. However, with her success now undeniable, those very same critics who once tore her down have found themselves in the position of celebrating her. Delves deep into Caitlin Clark's journey, exploring the sacrifices she made along the way, the bullies she had to endure, and how the tide of expert opinion has turned in her favor as she cemented her legacy as one of the greatest basketball players of her generation.
Offensively, our defense wasn't very good, so I think just improving in that area and just all kind of gathering our emotions a little bit better and finding better shots. I thought we kind of stopped playing in a way that made us successful in the first half, so just a good learning opportunity for us. I feel like we could have played a lot better. But yeah, I think there's a line, and sometimes your passion, your emotion can get to you, but...
Caitlin Clark's journey to becoming one of the most talked about names in basketball has been paved with incredible challenges. What people see now, her confidence, her dominance on the court, her poise under pressure, was shaped not just by hard work, but by a series of personal sacrifices and difficult experiences with bullying. Behind her dazzling performances and record-setting feats lies a side of her life that is rarely discussed.
No one like Caitlin Clark in the history of the WNBA.
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect.
No one cares what skin color you are. You know what America loves? Let me break it down for you. We absolutely love one thing. You know what it is? Underdogs. We don't care about your color. We don't care if you're married, single, divorced. We don't care about anything. We love humble underdogs.
As Caitlin pursued her passion for basketball, the world around her wasn't always kind. Her relentless focus on the game from an early age meant she stood apart from her peers, and that set her up as an easy target. While her talent quickly became evident, her dedication was often misunderstood by classmates and even fellow athletes. They saw her intensity as something to mock rather than admire.
Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
It wasn't just about the sport. She was different. And for some, That difference made her an easy subject for criticism. The bullying wasn't just on the court, where some players tried to rough her up, or where jeers from the stands occasionally reached her ears. It extended into her personal life, with snide comments, passive-aggressive remarks, and even outright exclusion. Caitlin wasn't always invited to social events. She was often left on the outside looking in, because people couldn't quite handle her ambition and determination. She made a choice, early on, to prioritize her future in basketball over typical teenage experiences, and that made her a prime target for those who didn't understand her drive.
There is a lot of appropriate attention on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and we found out that the Fever Storm game from over the weekend drew 2.2 million viewers, which is massive. The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers averaged, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
She remembers those days vividly. It's not the games or the scores that come to mind first when she reflects on her early years. It's the moments of isolation, where her single-minded pursuit of greatness left her standing alone. While some of her classmates went to parties or spent their weekends relaxing, Caitlin was in the gym, working on her shot, improving her footwork, and running drills. For some, that dedication was admirable, but for others, it was threatening. She was reminded often that she was different, that she didn't fit the mold. Words of criticism cut deep, even if Caitlin never showed it.
The biggest reason that she's popular is it's the Steph Curry syndrome. She looks a lot like the girl who's out shooting hoops next door, and she plays like we are all capable of playing.
People said she was too intense, that she took the game too seriously, that her commitment was borderline obsessive. Some even tried to make her feel ashamed of her passion. Yet despite the pain those words caused, they fueled her resolve. Every time someone tried to tear her down, it only strengthened her determination to rise above it all.
A lot of people get emotional over race, over how good you are, over if this person's a better basketball player. It is all about business for corporations. And it's all about, can you sell their product?
Through it all, Caitlin stayed focused. She didn't lash out or seek revenge on those who bullied her. Instead, she channeled that energy into her game. The basketball court became her sanctuary, a place where she could let her skills speak for themselves. It wasn't about proving her bullies wrong. It was about proving to herself that she could overcome any obstacle. The more people doubted her, the harder she worked.
Caitlin Clark is starting to push Asia Wilson for MVP of this league, and I am not exaggerating. She is starting to push Asia as the best player in the league because I don't see anybody control a game the way Caitlin can.
And slowly but surely, her work began to pay off. As Caitlin's star began to rise, something remarkable happened. The same experts who once doubted her began to take notice. At first, their praise was measured, acknowledging her talent, but still questioning whether she had what it took to make it at the highest level. But Caitlin never let that deter her. She knew that proving herself would take time. She continued to put in the work, staying true to her passion and ignoring the noise around her.
And I think in overall popularity, does her race play a factor? Nominal. Women's basketball has had a cornucopia of talented white and black women's basketball players. Elena Delle Donne is white, is she not? Sue Bird, white, is she not? Asia Wilson's black. Cynthia Cooper, black. Like, you can go back through, and it's actually a lot more. There's gay and there's straight. There's black and there's white. There's tall and there's short.
Eventually, the tides began to turn. As her performances grew more impressive, experts who had once doubted her began to change their tune. They started to see what Caitlin had always known, that she was a generational talent, capable of redefining what it meant to be a basketball player. The same people who had dismissed her early on as just another player with big dreams were now calling her one of the most exciting athletes in the game.
Splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane. That should be celebrated, and it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up.
Analysts who had once criticized her intense style of play now praised her for it, noting how her competitive fire set her apart. It wasn't just the media that began to change its tune.
Caitlin Clark is the biggest star in American sports. There's not one other American athlete that could do what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA or for any league.
I think she should be up for MVP.
Coaches, former players, and even critics who had once questioned her began to come around. They couldn't ignore the sheer brilliance of her performances, the way she controlled the tempo of the game, her ability to hit impossible shots under pressure. In a shocking twist, basketball legend Cheryl Swoops has found herself at the center of controversy after accusations of racism involving rising star Caitlin Clark surfaced, sending shockwaves through the sports community. As tensions escalated, former NBA 2K host and social media personality Rachel Demeter expressed her outrage, sparking a heated online debate. With fans divided and the basketball world buzzing, the situation has quickly spiraled, leaving many to wonder how this will impact the legacy of the WNBA icon. What exactly unfolded, and how did it lead to this point? This scandal has everyone talking.
Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now immediately? Absolutely not.
Caitlin Clark has emerged as one of the most electrifying talents in the world of basketball, quickly becoming a household name thanks to her astounding skills on the court. The journey she has taken from her early days playing at Iowa to her current status in the WNBA is nothing short of remarkable. What makes Clark's story even more compelling is the way she has navigated the challenges of transitioning from college to professional basketball, all while capturing the hearts of fans and critics alike. At Iowa, Caitlin Clark was a force to be reckoned with. She led her team with exceptional scoring ability, averaging impressive numbers that showcased her talent.
With millions and millions of fans, this is not going to go away. Like, we have seen it across the board in every single sport. And if you're going to get the same eyeballs as the NBA, it comes with the territory.
However, her game is not just about putting points on the board. It's about the way she sees the floor and creates opportunities for her teammates. While many focus on her shooting prowess, it's her vision and ability to pass that truly set her apart from other players. Clark possesses a unique understanding of the game, allowing her to anticipate plays before they unfold.
The biggest reason that she's popular is it's the Steph Curry syndrome. She looks a lot like the girl who's out shooting hoops next door, and she plays like we are all capable of playing.
This innate ability to read the defense and make split-second decisions has become a hallmark of her playing style. When she entered the WNBA, expectations were sky-high. Fans and analysts eagerly awaited her performance, speculating on how her skills would translate to a league filled with experienced players.
Caitlin Clark is starting to push A'ja Wilson for MVP of this league, and I am not exaggerating. She is starting to push A'ja as the best player in the league because I don't see anybody control a game the way Caitlin can.
The initial skepticism came from various quarters, with some WNBA veterans, including Cheryl Swoops, questioning whether Clark could handle the transition. They expressed doubts about her ability to perform at the professional level, suggesting that she might struggle against players who have been competing in the league for years.
Have some players like an Aaliyah Boston, an Alyssa Smith, a Kelsey Mitchell, like they got to have a rock.
Despite the doubts cast upon her, Caitlin Clark has consistently proven her critics wrong. As she settled into her new role, she demonstrated that her talent was not just a product of her college success, but a testament to her hard work and dedication. One of the first challenges she faced was adjusting to the physicality of the WNBA. Unlike college basketball, where she often dominated younger opponents, Clark now found herself up against seasoned professionals who understood the nuances of the game.
The delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds on she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP at the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a bad name.
Swoops's criticism wasn't isolated. Many veteran players expressed similar sentiments, pointing to Clark's early struggles and arguing that she needed to prove herself over a longer period. The reality is that rookies often face scrutiny, especially when they enter the league with the kind of hype and attention that Clark attracted. While it's natural for skeptics to voice their opinions, Clark remained focused on her development and improving her game. Throughout the season, Clark's resilience shone through.
No one like Caitlin Clark in the history of the WNBA.
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect.
No one cares what skin color you are. You know what America loves? Let me break it down for you. We absolutely love one thing. You know what it is? Underdogs. We don't care about your color. We don't care if you're married, single, divorced. We don't care about anything. We love humble underdogs.
She used the skepticism of others as motivation to work harder and to elevate her game to new heights. Her dedication was evident not just in her statistics, but in her work ethic during practices and games. She studied film, refined her skills, and continually sought feedback from her coaches and teammates. This commitment to improvement has been a hallmark of her character, showcasing her professionalism and maturity at such a young age.
There is a lot of appropriate attention on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and we found out that the Fever Storm game from over the weekend drew 2.2 million viewers, which is massive. The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
In addition to her on-court achievements, Caitlin Clark has also made significant strides in engaging with fans and building her brand. Her social media presence has skyrocketed as fans have flocked to follow her journey. Clark has embraced this newfound attention, using her platform to connect with supporters and inspire young athletes. She shares insights into her training routines, game day preparations, and life off the court, allowing fans to get a glimpse of the person behind the player. Moreover, her popularity has translated into increased attendance at Fever games. As Clark has continued to break records and make headlines, the interest in women's basketball has surged. Fans have turned out in droves to watch her play, leading to a renewed excitement for the franchise and the league as a whole.
Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
Her presence has not only rejuvenated the Fever, but also elevated the visibility of women's sports, helping to pave the way for future generations of female athletes. While Caitlin Clark has enjoyed tremendous success, it's important to acknowledge that she still faces challenges. The pressure of expectations can weigh heavily on any athlete, especially a rookie who has achieved so much so quickly. Maintaining a balance between personal life, career, and public persona is no easy feat. Clark's journey is just beginning, and navigating the highs and lows of professional sports will be a continuous challenge.
And I think in overall popularity, does her race play a factor? Nominal. Women's basketball has had a cornucopia of talented white and black women's basketball players. Elena Delle Donne is white, is she not? Sue Bird, white, is she not? Asia Wilson's black. Cynthia Cooper, black. Like, you can go back through, and it's actually a lot more. There's gay and there's straight. There's black and there's white. There's tall and there's short.